Testing. All right. You can cut out that other.
Hey, yo, Yeah. Run it up, Blondo.
Hey, see y'all from Texas, where we sit riding swangers and put diamonds in our neck.
Oh, whoa, what's going on, everybody? What's going on? How everybody doing today? Woo, it's your boy Doc Holiday. We're back in another HBCU tonight. It's powered by HBCU Overdrive. Make sure that you like the stream. Make sure that you comment, share, and most of all, the most important thing, subscribe to the channel. And also make sure that you hit the notification bell to get everything HBC Overdrive. As you all know, we simulcast on YouTube and Twitter. So if you on the Twitter page, hit that follow button and then come on to the YouTube section and hit that subscribe button as always. All right. So we got a lot to unpack, but I want to go ahead and say that went to the doctor last week and had some interesting things to say about my health. One of the things that my doctor wants me to do is make sure that my potassium is back up to par. So that's one thing that we kind of want to work on. And then the other thing is checking about my heart and my kidney. So make sure everything is fully functional, A-OK. I've been taking probiotic gummies and some energy. So I can have energy at night. So that's what we got going on right now. And everything is on the up and up. So we got a lot of so just have some stuff to and some stuff to kind of get out the way. So other than that, sorry about that. But as always, let me let everybody know what we got coming up. What we got coming up this time around. Let me see. Nah, let me remove that right there. I don't want to start anything. I'm trying to find my file. For everything. But anyway, SWAC Media Day is upon us. As we all know, the SWAC Media Day is July 16th. If you're viewing from ESPN Plus, they will be live at 10 a.m. I'm sorry, 10 a.m. But tune in with me. We're gonna be live an hour before. Talk to some content creator. Talk to some more content creators. Get a feel about what's going on in Black college football. It pretty much picked everybody's brain about who's going to win the SWAC. But you'll get all the interviews from players, coaches, ADs, if we can get that going. But yeah, SWAC Media Day is upon us. That will be July 16th. That's live from the Birmingham Sheridan Hotel in downtown Birmingham, Alabama. So, hey, if you're in Alabama, pull up. I ain't gonna name them people school. But yeah. But other than that, that's pretty much what we got going on coming up. But if you want to go ahead and we're gonna start the drive, the 205 again. You go ahead and send your donation to Cash App, PayPal, or Zelle. Yeah, that's what we got going on right now. Good evening. Hey man, we've already started. I ain't gonna name that school. Come on now. What's going on, Chuck? How you doing? So we're not gonna stay too long on here today. So not gonna stay too long on here tonight. So I gotta go to work. Yeah, I'm really back on my 4-on-3 off. So I'm back on my 4-on-3 off. But yeah, let me go ahead and get this out the way. Just letting everybody know what's going on. So we got that going on. We got t-shirts still coming into play. We've already gotten our EIN number for our shirts, for our shirt company. And it is coming. We will have the online store coming real soon. So the missus is doing the damn do. So other than that, what's going on? Dr. Israel. I gotta put the doctor on the front. I don't want to disrespect you like that. We got a lot. Like I said, we got a lot to unpack tonight. But before we do go to all that, let's head and take this good commercial break. Be right back in just a minute. It's your boy Doc Holiday. Become a subscriber on HBCU Overdrive on YouTube, and you can follow me on all social media platforms at HBCU_Overdrive on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch me on TikTok at Holiday1925 and on Facebook under my real name, David E. Smith Douglas. Also, when you become an exclusive family member, you get all the membership perks. You get all the exclusive members only videos, early access to new videos, member shoutouts, and members only live chats. And also you can get birthday shout outs on here and win member when you become a subscriber. You can also hit the donation to the Cash App at HBCU Overdrive. You can hit the PayPal David Smith 1925, and you can hit the Zelle David E. Smith 30 at gmail.com. Remember, all proceeds go towards the channel, not the pocket. All right. So also we'll be having some new commercials coming through. We working on some things coming into the fold. The Miss will explain everything about that later on. But other than that, let's see who else we got up in here. What it do, Thad? What's going on? What's going on, Adam? So we got a pirate in the house. But yeah, we got some things to talk about. But let's go ahead and let's get right to it. On today's docket. All right. So all right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Black College Football Hall of Fame Enshrine's new members. One of those members is Dominique Rogers Cromartie. The other some more members. Some more members that was there was Rasheed Mathis, Bethune-Cookman. I'm trying to get some more folks, trying to get it done. Oh, let me say the biggest JSU hater right now. That's Jay Walker. But no, he was inducted also in Black College Football Hall of Fame this past weekend. Henry Dyer, also from Grambling State University. Jaquay Nunnally from Florida A&M University. Of course, I did say DRC from Tennessee State. Jake Scott Walker from Howard. And posthumously, Coach Fred Pop Long, who was a master at Wiley College back in the day. So those great men were inducted into the Hall of Fame over this weekend. Wish I had some more clips about that, but I want to see some videos of Henry Dyer. But I've seen Rasheed Mathis play, of course, with the Jacksonville Jaguars, but I did see him play at Bethune-Cookman. He did kind of continue that train, having HBCU players coming out and get drafted in like the early rounds. What's going on, man? I've seen Jaquay Nunnally play for FAMU. He was a headache at receiver. Of course, DRC, we all know what he did at Tennessee State, all conference. Pretty much the man was all world at Tennessee State. Jay Scott Walker, I would say his accolades speak for himself. at Howard, and then of course Fred Pop Long from Wiley College, who has a couple of national championships with in the SWAC when Wiley was still in the SWAC. So congratulations to those members for getting inducted into the Black College Football Hall of Fame. Let's see what else we got. What else do we have next on the list? Next on my docket. Next on my docket is Fisk University ends the gymnastics program after 3 years. Let me fix that right there. Let's see what we got right here. Let me go ahead and read about this. Read about this one right here. Yep, this is it. This is from June 7th. This was over the weekend. Fisk University's gymnastics program, the first in HBCU history, is shutting down. The Nashville, Tennessee-based HBCU announced in an email on Friday that it will discontinue the sport, according to College Gym News. The university cited challenges with aligning gymnastics to its current athletics structure. We are tremendously proud of the history our gymnastics team has made in just 3 years, said Fisk Director of Athletics, Valencia Jordan. But we look forward to focusing on our conference-affiliated teams to strengthen our impact in the HBCU Athletic Conference. Fisk is grateful for the hard work, dedication, and tenacity of its gymnasts, staff members, and coaches who made this program possible. The groundbreaking program drew national attention from the start. Fisk hired Corinne Tarver, the first Black woman to compete in gymnastics at the University of Georgia, and a national champion as head coach. Morgan Price, who turned down a chance to compete in the SEC, became the team's breakout star. She joined several other young gymnasts eager to make history on the inaugural HBCU squad. The team got out to a strong start in 2023 and improved in 2024. Price won the national championship in the all-around and defended her title this past year. However, cracks began to appear earlier this season. Tarver, who had also served as athletics director, stepped down mid-season. Fisk faced financial aid issues tied to FAFSA processing delays, which created uncertainty for many students. Last summer, Nashville's Metro Council stepped in with $500,000 in emergency funding to support the university. Price announced last month she would transfer to Arkansas for her final season. Now the program she and her teammates helped build appears to be finished. This decision comes about a year after Talladega College, the first HBCU to announce the gymnastic program, ended its own after just one season. This is, to me, this is, it was groundbreaking to have gymnastics in HBCU, in our HBCUs, but to only last only 1 and eventually 3 years, I think that was, it's a travesty. I put it just like that. It's a travesty to say that these young ladies, and of course maybe me, came to the school because of that. Now I want to go ahead and say this: the the settlement situation from the House and the NCAA does not affect smaller schools like Fisk because they are NAIA and they don't have that type of revenue. So it's not tied to, they're not tied to that. Schools like Fisk, Wiley, Jarvis, who has a wrestling program. There, Houston Tillerson, those schools, those smaller schools, Philander Smith, those schools are not tied to the House settlement. And in fact, let's go ahead. I was going to talk about the House settlement. I was going to talk about it earlier, but let's go ahead and get that out the way. Now, this is a letter from Charlie Baker, who is the president of the NCAA. He basically said, colleagues, many look to April's hearing about the House settlement as a culmination of sorts, but the court's final approval of the settlement, in fact, marks a new beginning for Division I student athletes and for the NCAA. For several years, Division I members crafted well-intentioned rules and systems to govern financial benefits from schools and name, image, and likeness opportunities, but the NCAA could not easily enforce these for several reasons. Excuse me. The result was a sense of chaos, instability for schools, confusion for student athletes, and too often litigation. Sometimes member schools even supported that litigation, some of which spurred hastily imposed court orders upending the rules. Approving the agreement reached by the NCAA, the defendant conferences and student athletes in the settlement opens a pathway to begin stabilizing college sports. This new framework that enables schools to provide direct financial benefits to student athletes and establishes clear and specific rules to regulate third-party NIL agreements marks a huge step forward for college sports. The huge step comes with significant changes. Going forward, the defendant conferences will be responsible for implementing several elements of the settlement, including the design and enforcement of the annual 22.5% cap, approximately $20.5 million in year one, for financial benefits a Division I school made direct to student athletes. In addition, the court maintains jurisdiction over the implementation of the settlement, and the plaintiffs will continue to track progress. The defendant conferences are also responsible for launching and enforcing a series of rules regarding the third-party NIL contracts student athletes may enter into. With these reforms, along with scholarships and other benefits, student athletes at many schools will be able to receive nearly 50% of all athletics department revenue. That is a tremendously positive change and one that was long overdue. With the defendant conferences leading administration and enforcement of the now approved settlement terms related to financial benefits, we will increasingly shift our focus at the NCAA away from enforcing rules prohibiting and limiting financial benefits in college sports, which has been the source of many other recent changes. We can now turn forward toward what most agree is our primary function, providing a world-class academic and athletics experience. With these changes in place, including release from future litigation on these subjects for the next decade, the foundation of college sports is stronger than at any point in years. The NCAA can increase focus on reforming clunky governance structures, and most importantly, prioritizing fair competition, academics, and student athlete well-being. It's a long ass letter right here, y'all. I'm not trying to read the whole thing, But basically, this is what's going on. This is coming out ESPN from Dan Wilson. So basically, this says how the spoils NCAA settlement will be divided. So basically, Friday night, Claudia Wilkin, a federal judge in California, approved a settlement Friday between the NCAA and athlete plaintiffs that established a revenue sharing system that allows athletic departments to pay out about $20.5 million directly to their players. The agreement lasts 10 years, and the money is expected to increase annually. While college athletes have been taking in outside payments for their name, image, and likeness, the so-called house settlement allows it to come from schools, school coffers, basically media rights, ticket sales, etc. What was once mostly unregulated is now mostly regulated. So basically, what they was trying to do was trying to regulate how athletes get their money from name, image, and likeness. Now, this doesn't come from Division II. I don't think Division II doesn't have to worry about it. Division III doesn't have to worry about it, and NAIA doesn't have to worry about it. NIL deals will have to go through a clearinghouse to determine whether they are in line with actual endorsement or promotional value. Example, say Caitlin Clark and State Farm, and not just a workaround for boosters to pay recruits. Basically, what they're saying is that it has to come from it has to be a reliable, to me, it has to be a reliable source of income, and just not coming like $500 handshakes from a booster because you had a good game or so. Whether all of this can withstand additional legal challenges, practical operational concerns, and or schools actually follow the rules remains to be seen. The potential magnitude of the House case is indisputable, though. Basically, this is coming from Bill Byrne, who is the athletic director for University of Alabama. I tell our coaches and our students the three most significant events in the history of college athletics are: first, the NCAA's foundation, which was founded in 1905. Second, the adoption of Title IX, which was in 1972, and all the opportunities that were created because of it. And third, the House settlement. So it came with an example like Alabama saw only in football, they saw an increase in football and men's basketball. And football, they made over $26 million. In basketball, they made close to $6 million. And that's because Alabama was in basketball, went to the tournament. So their department expenses was more than their actual revenue for the year. So their expenses was $262 million, but their revenue was $234 million, which basically it was $28 million shortfall. And that's a lot of money right there. So, and this got to basically say, like, you if you're opted into this, if you opt into this, is basically you have to you basically are trying to trim the fat. You're reallocating funds. You're basically maneuvering to get yourself better prepared, because you have to pay, your student athletes now if you opt in. Now, with the SWAC, I don't too much know about that, but from word is saying that most schools in the SWAC are opted in to the House settlement. So, with schools like on the Division One, on the FBS level, when it comes to football, schools like Stanford, they got 36 sports. You got Ohio
Tomorrow
State.
in Irving, you'll see some sun and thunder.
You got Ohio State, who has 33 sports. Boston College has 29. Like, a lot of schools have a lot of different sports. Is it possible that those sports can move over to a club level type sport that doesn't if it doesn't generate any type of money, that is not a non-revenue sport? Can you shift it over to like a club type sport? Can you shift it over to a intramural type sport? And those are some things that they will have to actually have to think about. If you really think about it. But now, that's just something that you have to kind of play around with, because of the simple fact that it's just all maneuvering. It's all about maneuvering. But other than that, let's go ahead and let's go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back. We'll be right back after this.
Yo, it's your boy Doc Holliday with HBCU Overdrive, and I am proud to sponsor Merch Sports. Check out his new line of collection, the Black College Football Fan Club collection. It's basically designed to show support and give respect to the rich history and tradition of black college football. And as you already know, the best college players had to play at HBCUs before integration. So go ahead and check it out over at shopmerchsports.com. Merch Sports. Merch for the sports enthusiasts.
All right, we are back, and I'm trying to get this thing right here set up for us, but maybe I can't do it right there. But hold on, let me see something. Let me go ahead and get this out the way. Apologize for the delay. I want to do that. Oh my goodness. Boy, you coming in guns blazing, ain't you? You coming in guns blazing. Make sure that you like the stream, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. That's what my man talking about doing. I hope this shit come up. Well, anyway, I wish I'm trying to get this going on right here. But anyway, ain't nobody messy around this junk. But let's go ahead and get to it. Let's go ahead and get it to it. All right, I got something for you. Let's just go ahead and get it to it. All right. Woo, shit. FAMU Athletic Director Angela Suggs arrested on felony fraud charge today. Woo. Y'all ain't hear me, man. Y'all not hearing me. Let's unpack this, y'all. Let's unpack it. FAMU Athletics Director. This is coming from WCTV. This is out of Tallahassee, Florida. FAMU Athletics Director arrested accused of using former jobs credit card to pay for casino visits. Angela Suggs turned herself in at the Leon County Detention Facility on Monday, which is today. The athletics director for Florida A&M University was arrested Monday on multiple felony criminal charges at the months-long investigation by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. Angela Suggs, 55, is accused of racking up $24,000 in charges while misusing a business credit card per FDLE. She turned herself in at the Leon County Detention Facility on Monday. The investigation into Suggs began in November, just 2 months after she was announced as FAMU's vice president and director of athletics. But according to the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the allegations are actually linked to the role she had directly before taking charge of FAMU athletics. We have been following this story all morning, and we'll have the latest. Okay, so that's from Allison Posey. She's cool. Suggs was previously the president and CEO of the Florida Sports Foundation, a nonprofit focused on promoting Florida's sports industry. It's also a direct support organization operating under the Florida Department of Commerce, per FDLE. The Florida Department of Commerce Inspector General sent FDLE a criminal referral from the Florida Department of Commerce's Inspector General with an audit of Suggs' FSF business credit card purchases and corresponding traveling reimbursements. That led to FDLE investigators finding that Suggs allegedly used her business credit card for the nonprofit on personal expenses, including visits to casinos during business trips. So this is from the FDLE. The investigation revealed that Suggs misused her FSF issued credit card to make wire transfers and cash withdrawals and personal purchases at casinos during business trips, totaling more than $24,000. Additionally, FDLE alleges that Suggs went on to falsify travel vouchers by coding, quote unquote, coding the unauthorized charges as meals. Ooh, that's a lot. The press release says that when asked, the athletics director claimed the alleged unauthorized charges were business meals or that the costs were accidentally charged to the business card. She also allegedly failed to fully repay FSF for her personal expenditures per FDLE. FAMU interim president Timothy Beard said in a statement that the university is aware of the allegations connected to her work with a former employer. While the matter is unrelated to her duties as an employee at FAMU, we are monitoring the situation and will respond in the future as appropriate, the statement said. FDLE says they are still actively investigating athletic director. Suggs is charged with the following per Florida Department of Law Enforcement. One felony count of grand theft, one felony count of scheme to defraud, 4 misdemeanor counts of false claims on travel vouchers. The athletic director's bond was set at $13,500 per FDLE. The county court record shows she bonded out of jail just after 2:30 p.m. Monday. So basically, they emailed Suggs, defense attorney Richard Smith for comment, but he declined to provide a statement. So basically, this story is a developing story, and they say check back for more if anything happens. So I just want to say that this is what I really want to say, because a lot of folks had some words for the former AD, but this is what I want to say.
Oh. Fuck all that! Nah, I know.
Fuck all that. Fuck all that. Y'all had so much damn smoke for this woman. And we talk about 80 sites. 80 sites. Y'all had folks had so much smoke for this woman. And of course, they say she got fired, but she resigned. She knew what was up. She wasn't. She knew she kind of messed up on that donation thing. But everybody had smoke saying that she was not the right person to lead FAMU. She was not the right person to be in charge of FAMU athletics. But apparently, I'm not saying that AD Suggs is not a good leader, but she's just in the news, more in the news than your previous athletic director. On some more, just some silly shit now. So the real thing about it, those charges are damning. I don't know what the if found guilty, what type of punishment those charges bring. So basically, when it comes to the court of law, don't know what that brings for her. But It's just like, you're proven innocent till guilty in the court of law. That is correct. But oh my God, FAMU, y'all been in the news too goddamn much. So y'all been in the news. It ain't even. It's halfway through 2025. Yeah, we halfway through. Am I right? We halfway through 2025. And y'all still kicking yourself in the ass. Like,
No.
What the fuck, y'all? God damn! God damn! God damn!
What?
like, oh my goodness. Oh, I don't know what to say, y'all. I don't know what to say. I mean, you are proven innocent until proven guilty. Hey, that's what I want to know. Did you win any kind of money? I mean, but it's not like she can keep the money. But so yeah, you so look, if I'm 80 sites, I'm doing this to FAMU.
Yeah. They squabbling out there now. Yeah.
I'm about to squabble. We got to squabble. We got to square up. Catch fade. Catch a fade. Psych. Yeah, psych. So here's the thing. This is a very good thing. Then some. If she had been under investigation since November of last year, you mean to tell me nobody asked or vetted this lady's character? Yeah. So now FAMU has a history of making bad choices when it comes to people in the vetting process. Oh my goodness. And I'm gonna be real honest with you. To me, it kind of started. Oh my goodness! To me, it kind of started with the snake lady. It started with the snake lady taking the nude pictures in front of the big Rattler statue and stuff like that. So to me, I think it started there. Then it just went downhill from there. Of course, Courtney Gaucher gets fired at FAMU. He was the athletics director. He was basically trying to sign. He was trying to do some I guess you want to call backhanded deals to try to get FAMU on top. And they said that you can't do that. So guess what? They fired him. Now he's doing his dream job at an FBS school. So it is what it is. Then people have smoke for Tiffany Dawn Sykes, saying that she saying that she wasn't even qualified. And the story goes that the person that they wanted is 80 Suggs. But Dr. Robinson chose Tiffany Dawn Sykes. She basically led the athletics program. Really didn't hear too much about what was going on with her. She stayed quiet. Here, she wasn't really in the news except for the things that she was trying to do as far as a fundraising forum. Turn around. In 2023, in the fall of 2023, you say that they vetted Jerami, and the donation scandal. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's go there. So yeah, they vetted this man from October 2023 all the way up until it was commencement time. Found out that the man was a complete fraud. What up, though? Found him as a complete fraud. Who said that he had $237 million of Chuck E. Cheese coins to give to FAMU to put into their endowment, and part of it to go to athletics. After doing extensive research, we all did extensive research. Again, we found out that the guy was cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, and he was off his rocker. So, what Uncle said, he was off his rocker. So that was a long, that's something that you never can get away from. That is something that you'll never be able to get away from. Then go through the whole thing. They got audited. Basically, President Robinson told them not to fuck it up. He told them not to mess it up. He said he vetted his folks. Oh, there we go. Let's get to it. Ain't gonna stay on too long. Well, I might run a Uber to work tonight. All right, there you go, Mr. Ford. Just let Mr. Ford up. But oh Jesus. This is I don't know, this is trippy. This is funny. Not only did the FAMU Foundation Board, she resigned. Dr. Robinson resigned. 80 Sykes resigned and left. But that audit showed a lot, and basically, President Robinson played on the faces of everybody. Let's just put it like that. Let's just put it like that. I think the link is in the chat, Mr. Ford. Go ahead. And yeah, nobody made this. Like, nobody made this stuff up. This is not made up. If they've been, so she got hired in September at FAMU. They started an investigation in November, well after she got hired, and they came up with what they had. And this is from November to June. That's a lot, that's a lot of time to investigate right there. So basically, they've been asking questions. They audit, because that's what it is. It's a audit. It's a audit. I'm still waiting on for Mr. Ford to come on, pull on up. And then you got all this stuff with the new president-elect, Marva Johnson, coming in, and how much they are giving her, saying that they had to pull out of the funds out of the FAMU Foundation, and it's a lot of stuff going on. It is a lot of stuff. This is a soap opera. This is call it what it is. This is a soap opera at Florida A&M University. But the thing about this, the only thing that it hurts, with no soap, it hurts the student athletes. So at the end of the day, this all hurts the student athletes, because what is about to be is there's no stability. There's no type of stability within the athletics department. And pretty much there's no stability within the university. Mr. Ford, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you loud and clear.
Yeah, I'm
Trying to get on. You know how my stuff is.
You watching the Braves, ain't you?
Yeah, they playing the Brewers.
Yeah, keeping up with it. So, what you think about this, Mr. Ford?
I'm just getting on with that. What's the topic?
Well, the athletic director for FAMU.
Oh yeah, excuse me. Yeah, I heard it today. Yeah. Hold on, Doc. Let me put this up. Hold on. Doc, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
I'm excuse me, man. I'm reading a little something. Hold on one second. Okay. Yeah, I heard it today. You know, my phone been ringing all day with that. I had a friend of mine from FAM call me. Asked me what I heard. I heard what? He said, put in AD FAMU, and there was, all over the internet.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, my whole thing is, when you do a background check, because they got to go into your whole background when it comes to something like this. They got to go into your whole background when it comes to something like this.
Oh yeah, yeah. When I was in college, I'll never forget Dr. Eugene Walker. He said that one of the things that if you want to be a leader, you had to have a squeaky clean background. You had to be clean cut. Mm-hmm. Because if you didn't, it was going to come out. And in this era that we're living in now, at one time when I was coming up, you could hide, bad information and all that. But now, man, you do something wrong, it's out in a day. Wow. The whole world knows it. That internet is totally different because I remember the time you get some news, you might not get no more news till the following week or following weeks. Now, something happened, man, you right on time. Really, to be honest with you, and I know a lot of people argue with me with this, that the internet news is quicker than the news you get on that TV.
Yeah.
I mean, as soon as it happens, that internet puts you right on top of it. So, Ed, y'all thought about that too, about the stuff she said about Valley. But, hey, they got to make a move, man, because I'm going to tell you something, like you just saying about in this day and climate, you got to have an outstanding AD, man. Mm-hmm. You can't get around it. You can't get around that, man, because like I tell everybody, right now in the SWAC, we got all kind of athletes. And by the way, Doc, you heard about that quarterback that's coming to South Carolina State? Did you hear about that?
Nope.
Man, you got to see this kid, man. He's coming from James Madison. He can play. I was listening to your boy last week. That's how I got on it.
Kobe,
and he got a partner.
Oh, Tuck.
Yeah, they was talking about it. So I said, who is that? So I did my research. Come to find out, he led James Madison to a victory in a bowl game last year. I watched the bowl game. I've watched it once. I'm going to watch it again. But I was saying to myself now, first of all, they are blessed. They got this kid from James Madison. He can play. Mm-hmm. I know good and well they ain't getting ready to sit this boy on no bench. I know that. I know they ain't getting ready to do that. So I'm looking forward to see how. And I'm a Coach Tennisberry fan. I love Coach Tennisberry. I'm waiting to see how they're gonna utilize this kid because I don't want them to do what Joe Taylor and them did some years back at FAMU. They got a kid from the University of Kentucky. I'll never forget it, man. We were so hurt. That kid was named Curtis Pulley. He came from the University of Kentucky. He was a quarterback. He was super, man. Yeah, I remember you remember him?
Yeah.
Oh man, you talking about ruin that kid. But at the time, Joe Taylor's his offensive staff was I wouldn't say they were junior high good. They were terrible, man. The guy he had at offense coordinator, he eventually became the head coach at Fayetteville State. He was terrible, man. I don't know his name was Hershaw, or something. He was awful, man. And they misused that kid, man. And a lot of people from FAM was hurt about it. I was so hurt about it, man. Because my thing is, if we're going to get kids like this, we got to make them better. We can't kill them. Right. We got to make them better. And it was just awful, man. That kid's name was Curtis Pulley, man. He was. But anyway, back to the thing at FAM. They got to make a move, man. Listen, man.
This is ESPN on the app. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, listen. The guy told me today, said just put it in. Man, when I put it in, FAMU AD turns herself. I'm like, turn herself in.
Yeah, I had to edit that.
Then I read the article. Like, what is this?
To me, I can say it. It's a never-ending soap opera.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, man, it was a time you could hide stuff. Now with this internet, bro, you ain't hiding nothing. You do wrong, it's coming out.
I saw it on my phone when I got off from work this evening.
That's why I saw that on my phone. I was like, what is this?
Doc read off what happened. I had seen it on WCTV. And I looked at it, I said, boy, this is for real. I said, wait a minute here.
But yeah, when you come down to it, it's you, man. Let me read out the charges, y'all. So y'all think that this is not something to play with.
No, I hate it for them. They're going through a lot down there, and I hate it for those people.
1 felony count of grand theft, 1 felony count of scheme to defraud, 4 misdemeanor counts of false claims on travel vouchers. Those are the charges right there. That's
serious.
That's serious.
Yeah.
And if they've been investigating you since November, you got hired on at FAMU in September, and it took from all the way up until now to come up with what they came up with the investigation. Yeah, the president, whoever the interim president, the new president, gonna have to make, like you said, they're gonna have to make a move.
Yeah, because see, you got to understand, man, you cannot go into a much anticipated season like this talking about you ain't got no AD, and then you gonna let this be a strike. They got to make a move. They need to be planning right now, and it needs to be somebody competent. Because let me just say this, man. Jackson State would not be where they are without Ashley Robson. Okay. He came in as athletic director. He turned that he definitely turned that program around, that football program. But he has turned around that whole athletic program with the moves, the decision, the innovation. Like I told Miss Timona Saturday night, tell me, what does the MEAC have that can compare to Ashley and them taking Grambling to Las Vegas and playing out there? What can you say in the MEAC that matches that? There is nothing. Because they're not doing that kind of planning over in the MEAC. And so that's what I'm saying now. I mean, like you read off the charge, she's a distraction now. Matter of fact, I would forget her. I would go head on and she would be on what y'all call it, paid leave and all that. But the main thing is now, I got to go get me an AD, man. You can't win championships, man, in the SWAC without an AD. Don't let nobody fool you. You can't win them. And so what I'm saying is, they got to go get somebody now that's competent, that can help make them a championship program, not only in football, but all them sports, man. As far as she's concerned, let her deal with that. To me, that's a distraction now. Okay? She's got to be put on unpaid leave or paid leave or whatever, but she got to be put on the sideline. They got to go get somebody. They need, to be honest with you, they need to have named somebody by now. And if they ain't named nobody, they late. So, baby, let me tell you something. We talking about them kids gonna be reporting to the campuses in about 6 weeks.
Yes. Football season be here before we know it.
You can't play with that, man. You can't play with that. You cannot play with that, man.
But I don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be Marvin to fire her. I think it's gonna come down to the board. It's gonna come down to President Beard to make that decision.
But what I'm saying is, if they can't wait, they got to go ahead on and name an interim now.
Right.
And it needs to be somebody with a familiarity with that program. These people getting ready to go on the war, bro. They got to play Jackson State, the defending black college champ, the SWAC champ. They got to play Alabama State. They got to get ready to play Southern University. Man, them people ain't finna sit around and say, oh, yeah, y'all AD, something happened with y'all AD. Man, they finna try to run them out the stadium. They got to get somebody with the familiarity with that program that's going to be an asset, okay, that can help them, man. They got to go and do that now. But like I said, what that woman is right now, she's a distraction. That's what she is. She's a distraction. And make the decision. You're gonna make her unpaid or paid, whatever. But you got to have somebody fill that position, bro. Because if not, you're gonna get run out the SWAC, bro. I'm telling you now. Because I'm telling you, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for them.
So Brandy,
this war, bro.
Yeah, she bonded out earlier, so her bail
turned herself in.
Yeah, she turned herself in. She bonded out. Her bail was set at $13,500. So all you have to do is just pay 10% of that. But the thing about it is, once she bonded out, here's the thing: if I'm the university, hey, don't come back into the office.
That's right. Don't come back. Cut ties immediately. You're a distraction. You're a distraction.
Because right now, this does not look good on the school. They've been in the news for so long.
Man,
2 years that it doesn't make any sense. It's basically like regular news to us.
I've seen them. I got to know the board of trustees members by names. I'm not even down there. Yeah, I've seen them so much.
And to me, here's the thing. Like, just I don't know. Using a company's credit card to go to casinos to gamble and stuff. That's where you messed up.
Yeah, casino. They have all the records.
I mean, that's criminal, man.
It's criminal.
That's criminal. And really, to me, that's on her, man. That's between her and her maker and the judicial system. My thing right now, if I was FAMU, is I would go ahead on, you got a hole in your wall or you got a flood in your boat, and you got to fill that flood, man. Because if not, I'm telling you, them people got to play Jackson State. They got to play Southern. They got people to play, man. And ain't nobody finna feel sorry for them. They got to go ahead and do what they got to do, man. Because she's a distraction. That's what that lady is right now, man. And I wouldn't waste no more time. Like you just said, I would let her know, whatever you got, we'll send it to you. We'll just don't come back over here. Okay? And what you do is you decide either she's going to be on paid leave, unpaid leave, or whatever. But that athletic program got to move on, man. They got to move on. Because, man, listen, SWAC is competitive, man. And them folks ain't finna sit around talking about you guys. Yeah, I heard about your AD. They finna try to run you out the stadium.
It's just going to be news all day, every day.
Man.
But that athletic program need to go ahead. They need to put their heads together and go and get somebody, man. They need to have, interim needs to be put in place by tomorrow. Hopefully they've already done it. Because, baby, I'm telling you, this is June what? This June what?
June 9th today.
This June 9th. Don't you know they're going to, at the 1st of August? Okay, if you play a game in the last of August, them players got to be on your campus the last of July. All right? Yeah. If you play a game Labor Day weekend, your players got to be on campus the 1st or 2nd week in August. Do you know how short that is? We talking about 5, 6, about 6 weeks?
6 weeks.
6 weeks, man. They got to go and do what they got to do, man. They got to go and do. I don't know that woman. You know what? My thing is, I do know A&M's athletic department. I'm saying what I think they need to do, man. They need to fill the hole, bro. What they call it? Next man up.
Next man up.
Next man up, man.
My whole thing about it is that at the end of the day, the only people that's going to get affected and hurt by this is the student athletes.
And the university. Oh, they're gonna hurt the university now. If you don't get the right person to get in there and get it done, it's gonna hurt the university, man. Because see, like I said, this is a distraction, man. And see, at a lot of these kids, when you're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old kid, they are easily distracted anyway. And then this is over their head. They got to read about this every day. You talk about distraction. I work with children. I know how easily they distracted. You got to get on this, man. You got to get on this, bro.
The transfer portal is going to heat up.
Man, that's what I'm saying. You got to get on this, man. Like I said, if I was them, I would hire somebody to serve as the interim that already has a familiarity with that program.
What's that guy's name? His last name last name is Smith.
The one that
You talking about the Alpha? Yeah, he's the deputy. I think he's the deputy AD. Yeah, I know who you're talking about. Smith. Yeah, he's been AD about 6-7 times.
Right.
Yeah. It's got to be somebody because you ain't. Listen, man. You ain't got time to sit around talking about who we can get. You got to make a move. You got to be decisive. Mm-hmm. This is a major distraction. You ain't got time. Yeah, I would get him. That was a guy that hired Willie Simmons. Did y'all know him, Coach? He was once he was a big time ball player at FAMU with Big John Eason. I would look at seeing if I could bring Eason back. Yeah, it's got to be somebody with some familiarity, man. You got to be somebody with some familiarity right now. I'm telling you, they're finna get ready to go on the war, man. Yeah. Listen, I thought that last year was a much anticipated season. And I've said this, Doc, to you and to a number of people. Black college football right now is in the midst of a golden era. And the reason we say it's a golden era, we can touch children now who we haven't been able to touch since the 80s and the 70s, especially the 80s. The kind of athletes we get now, we getting big time athletes, man. I'm talking about these kids they're at name Division I institution. They don't it don't work out for that, and they say they want to go SWAC or they want to go to a MEAC institution. We ain't had that kind of consideration, man, since the 80s and the 70s, man.
And that's why I noticed with now Tremaine Jackson is coming on the scene at Prairie View.
Oh man, I told you about that dude. They better watch that dude, man. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. To me, when I look at him and I read about the moves he's making, I haven't seen a guy. Some people are comparing him to Chennis. To me, he's coming in like he Billy Joe, man. I remember when Billy Joe came in from Central State and went down to Tallahassee, and all the moves he was making, he was letting people know that, I'm here to stay and I'm getting ready to take over black college football. I'm getting ready to be a major factor in black college football. That's what that Tremaine Jackson guy is doing to me. He reminds me of Billy Joe, man. He's got his philosophy, their belief system on this. He's got the big time staff. The school is behind him. He got, like I told you, the people at my school from Prairie View, they walk around with their chest stuck out now. They ain't never been like that. So listen, man, like I said, they can let this take them down if they want to, or they can move ahead, man. Because, baby, let me tell you something. I looked at that schedule the other night. Now, all of the TV games, some of the TV games are on there, man. Man, we getting ready to it's going to be a big-time HBCU football schedule, especially in the SWAC, but even in the MEAC. See, it's going to be like, to me, in the MEAC, it's going to be like a tournament because it's only like 16. And it's about 3 to 4 games going to determine who's going to come to the Celebration Bowl for them. It's South Carolina State against Central, South Carolina State against Norfolk, Central against South Carolina State. It's about 5 or 6 games going to determine. It's like a little small tournament. Now, the SWAC, because we got 12 teams, it's more drawn out. Okay? But, man, this is going to, listen, man, for you people who, you got the money to do it, if you want to see some good games, baby, it's going to be some good games in the SWAC and the MEAC, bro. It's gonna be some good games. I'm talking about every week, man. It's
I'm
gonna
looking
be some
forward
good
to
games,
South
bro.
Carolina.
So yeah, so is accused of racking up $24,000 in charges while misusing a business credit card. But this was at her old job when she was in the Florida Sports Foundation. So,
They're not gonna play about that.
This was 2 years ago. When did you say this happened?
So this was her last job. So it had.
I'm saying about how long has she been on investigation?
Oh, she been under investigation since November of this year. I mean,
wait a minute, of 2024. She's been on investigation in 2024.
She's been on investigation in November of 2024.
My birthday.
Man, I ain't pointing no fingers, but I'm just. How did they not know that? How did they not know that?
She got hired in September.
At FAM?
Yeah, 24.
Oh, okay, but still, man, that's all right. Like I said, she's a distraction for me. And I know she's gonna be. That's a distraction now, man. You got to go past distraction. But brother, this is a big time season coming up, bro. You hear me? They got this, man. This game, it's classic games all over that SWAC schedule. I looked at it Saturday, man. I looked at that SWAC. What I did was looked at week to week to week. Man, please. It's at least 2 classic games every week.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
My whole thing is, when are they going to, like you said, when are they going to name?
They need to do that immediately, man. They need to do that now. Man, I'm telling you, man, if you're going to be into winning championship and at the level the SWAC has gone back to now, bro, one of the most important things you got to have is an outstanding athletic director. If you don't have an outstanding athletic director, bro, you got problems. You got problems.
Now, I will say this. I think Willie saw this from a mile away and he said, I got to go.
Yeah, he got on out of there. He dipped after the Celebration Bowl.
Well, I'm going to tell you this. It was the ineptness of the president and the AD at the time. They bumbled that whole situation.
Yeah.
They messed that whole situation up. Okay. I don't think that Willie was in no rush to leave there, because Willie's family and his wife's family is totally intertwined into the FAMU legacy, the FAMU family. But the way they bundled that, the way they messed that up, that's what caused him to leave.
Excuse me again.
Yeah, but that was because of the ineptness of at that time, the president and the AD.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he was just in no great rush. Because you got to understand, man, Willie Simmons got a combination of 5 uncles and aunts that are FAMU graduates. Now, his wife, her family is more entwined than Willie's family.
Right.
She was a FAMU grad. She was a FAMU grad. Their son was the SGA president, I think. So,
Yes, in law school, that FAMU, if I stand corrected, I think I heard him say in an interview. Is that one that's in law school, if I stand correct?
Huh?
Yeah, I think Willie Simmons' son is in law school. I remember him talking about one of the interviews.
Like I said, his wife's family is more intertwined in FAM than Willie. And Willie, I read it. Willie got a combination of 5 uncles and aunts who are all FAMU graduates.
Yeah,
the reason Willie got out of that, man, is because of the disrespect shown to him by Dr. Robinson and that lady, Miss Sykes. Now that's why he left.
Yeah.
They disrespected him.
I think what's guy saw right
on the coordinator going to Colorado. Now he's at Florida State. Devin Rispers. Yeah,
he's at Florida State. Yeah.
I know what Coach Crary saw he saw the writing on the wall too. So it's like,
he's in my area now.
Yeah, in Grambling. So my whole thing is, Hey man, vet your people. That's what you need to do. Vet your people and don't trust no people from the inside and where you at. Somebody from the outside needs to vet people that come into your, to your building. Mr. Ford, what do you think about the Hall of Fame inductees this past weekend?
Man, I was talking to Mr. Moon about it. I remember the day Jay Walker came to Howard now.
I remember Jay Walker.
Yeah, when I was at Grambling, they used to talk about Henry Dyer. Henry Dyer played with Eddie Jr. He was Eddie Jr.'s running back.
Eddie,
who were the other guys? Who were the other guys inducted? Because I was telling them, I didn't see Henry Dyer them. That's before my time. But I saw they play. Who were the other people inducted?
My parents went to school with Henry Dyer. Yeah,
Henry Dyer played with Eddie Jr.
Yeah,
I knew about Henry Dyer when I was a student down there. I didn't meet him, but I knew. I worked for Junior. I was his student assistant. Junior used to talk about him all the time.
I met Henry Dyer. He and my mother had a class together. They were all at school at Grand. My father playing the band. And by the way, people talk about North Dakota State. He played against North Dakota State in 1965 in Abilene, Texas in the Pecan Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
My father talked about how cold that game was. Dad said almost didn't make the trip. Said R.W.E. Jones had to go down to Baton Rouge to get funding for the band to be able to go.
Oh, yeah.
Because he said, you all are making the trip. So I'm going to get the money for it. And they made the trip to Abilene, Texas. Yeah.
Now, I know Rashawn Matthews was one of them, right?
Yeah. Rashawn Matthews.
I saw his whole career at Bethune. He played for Shine. Yeah, I saw him. I saw. Now, I was trying to figure out, did he ever, now I knew he played for Jacksonville. Did he ever play for Detroit?
Let me see. Let me make sure.
Because I remember him. Like I told him, him and that other guy from Tennessee State that inducted. When we saw them, we knew them guys was pros. They had the size, the speed, everything. They were big time guys. If certain people, man, I don't care if they play Division II or NAIA, if they play a certain way, you already know the NFL is interested. And that's how it was with Rasheen and that other guy he was from Tennessee State. He was a big DB.
Oh yeah, Dominique Rogers.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Marty.
When I talked to the people at Tennessee State, because they were coming down here to play at the Atlanta Classic against FAM, they all knew he was going to go pro while he was still at Tennessee State. They already knew it.
Marty was tough.
Yeah, they was already tough because he's a big DB. He was a big guy.
Yeah, he played. So Rashawn Matthews played for the Jaguars and
he was Jaguars.
He played for Jacksonville and who?
Detroit.
Yeah, that's where I thought he was associated with Detroit. Now, that other one you talking about, the DB from, I remember him with the Giants. That DB you talking about from Tennessee State.
Dominique Rogers Cromartie.
Yeah. Because the other thing about Cromartie, I talked to his SID. His SID was all on top of him. He was sending stuff all to the NFL all while he was, his SID was named Dooley, I think it was. I think his name was Dooley. And Dooley was hounding him. He already felt that boy from day one, once he stepped on the campus of Tennessee State, that he was a pro prospect. And he was sending a lot of stuff to the NFL about that young man. That's another thing too, man. We sitting there talking about athletic director. The other thing that is very important is your SID. Your SID can do a lot for the coaches, the players, everybody, man. Because that's your media person.
Yeah.
That's your person, man. Yeah.
That's what made College J. Nicholson so big.
Yeah, Colin helped make Eddie Jr. He helped make that Grambling program.
Yeah. It just didn't continue. The only one I can think of out there now in the HBCU world is the only one I can think of used to be at Grambling. He's at Alabama A&M. It's Brian Howard. That's the only one I can think of. I don't see many SIDs out here.
Yeah, I used to know a lot of them too. The one at Jackson State for years was named Sam Jefferson. Sam was awesome, man.
Jefferson? Oh yeah, I remember
Sam was awesome, man. I used to talk to Sam a lot. I call and ask him different stuff. Sam was awesome. We had a brother. He was not an SID, but I keep telling people that black college football needs to do more for him. I think they did honor him. His name was Roscoe Nance.
Roscoe Nance.
wrote
Yeah,
for
USA
the
Today.
Clarion Ledger. Roscoe
Yeah,
was,
Clarion Ledger. Yeah, that's where
yes,
he came
sir,
from.
man. That dude was something else, man. Roscoe was a Tuskegee
Tuskegee.
graduate, I
Yeah,
think. Yeah,
Tuskegee.
yeah, he
So
was
let's see.
on the national level for us.
Yeah, I remember Roscoe Nance.
Jaquay Nunley.
I stopped listening. I remember when Jaquay Nunley came to Tallahassee. He was from Miami. He was built like a running back, but he could catch that football, bro.
That brother was bad.
Yeah, he was, man. Jaquay Nunley. It was they called themselves the Rack Boys.
The Rack Boys,
That
right
was
after catch.
Jaquay.
Boys,
It was
yes.
a boy named
Patrick
Kanan
Bonner.
Lamb, Cedric Mitchell, Jesse Bendross. They were the Rack Boys. They played for Billy Joe. The offense was called the Gulf Coast offense.
Gulf Coast offense.
Billy Joe put that offense together from being with Dick Vermeil. They used to go up to St. Louis. Remember Dick Vermeil and them had that thing called the fastest something on turf.
The greatest show on turf.
Greatest show on turf. He took from that playbook and put together the Gulf Coast offense. Because see, Billy had worked for Dick Vermeil at with the Eagles, with the Philadelphia Eagles. That's why him and Dick were close like that.
And my neighbor played for the Eagles, Charlie Smith, living on next street.
Charlie, yeah, I remember when Charlie was up. That was before Vermeil now. When Charlie was up there, that was before Dick Vermeil.
Yeah,
Charlie was up there with the
Vermeil
big
coached Charlie Smith and Harold Carmichael. Yeah.
Harold Carmichael, that's right. Ben Hawkins in there.
Yeah. Coach Charlie Smith, they went to the Super Bowl together. They were on that Super Bowl.
That was Norm Snead and them team. Yeah, that was before Dick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then last Pop Long. Fred Pop Long.
Yeah.
Pop Long was.
Yeah, man. When I found out about him was when I was at Grambling.
Yeah,
see, them kind of people like that, they used to play Grambling, Southern, Langston. All them used to play each other. Like, Langston don't really play them SWAC team. See, I think back then, Langston and Wiley, they were in the SWAC.
Yep.
Because the original SWAC was Texas. It was all about Texas, man. And Prairie View was the big dog.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Wiley was in the conference when my father was in school at Grambling. Dad saw Pop Long.
Remember the movie, The Great Debaters?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember the guy, Professor Tolson?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was a football coach at Wiley, too.
Yeah.
He was a football coach.
Yeah, that was in the 20s. Yeah.
Yeah, in the 20s. That's right. Because what's the name was there in the 20s and the 30s, I think.
Pop Long.
Pop Long, but I'm talking about that guy, Professor Tolson.
Tolson, he back doing that.
Yeah, he was there too.
So Henry Dyer was Grambling State's first 1,000-yard rusher, named all first team all SWAC from 63 to 65.
Yeah.
Led the nation in scoring with 110 points and drafted in the 4th round of the 1966 draft by the Los Angeles Rams.
Yeah.
Rasheed Mathis was a 3-time All-MEAC first team honoree in 2000, 01, and 02. He was the MEAC Defensive Player of the Year 02. Holds the FCS record for most interceptions in a career and season. So he had 31 in his career, 14 in one season. Ain't nobody breaking that. Holds the FCS record for most yards on interception returns in a career, 682. And in the season, 455. Drafted in the 2nd round of the 03 draft by the Jaguars. Still holds several franchise records with the Jaguars, including career interceptions, career interception return yards, career defensive touchdowns, and career passes defended. Then Jaquay Nunley was a 3-time football Division I All-American, 2nd all-time in NCAA Division I FCS football record books in career pass receptions with 317 for 4,239 yards and 38 touchdowns. 4-time All-MEAC first team honoree. That man was from we came at the same time. 97 to 2000. Named Black College Football Player of the Year in both 1998 and 2000.
Man. He could do it. He played with Quinn Gray. He played with one of the boys now is a big-time recruit out at Notre Dame. He, what's his name?
What, Pat Bonner?
Bonner played with him too, but it was a kid that came after Pat Bonner. He transferred from West Virginia. He's a big-time coach out at Notre Dame right now. I can't think of his name. He was from Belgrade, Florida. He was his quarterback. See, when he played, see, in '99, Billy Joe played 2 quarterbacks. He didn't play one. He played Quinn Gray, and then he played this other kid. I'm trying to think. He's no kid now, but
I remember Quinn Gray. Yeah.
Quinn took over as a single starter later on. But when Quinn was younger, he's on the staff at Notre Dame. He's on the staff at Notre Dame. I just can't think of his name.
Okay, so Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie was a 3-time first-team All-OVC, FCS All-American 2007. In his 39 starts for Tennessee State, opposing quarterbacks completed just 55 of 161 passes, which compute to 34.16% thrown near Rodgers-Cromartie and drafted in the first round in 2008 as on the Cardinals. Then we got the biggest hater for Jackson State, Jay Skywalker.
Yeah, boy.
I met him and Tiffany Green.
Yeah.
First team All MEAC selection. Selected as the MEAC Offensive Player of the Year in 1993. Led the Bison to an undefeated season en route to winning MEAC Black College National Championship.
That was a big time team, man. I'll never forget that team.
I graduated from high school. I watched that season. Yeah, that season of Howard.
That year that they were undefeated, I was
they were undefeated.
I was recruiting for the head coach at that time, Steve Wilson. I'll never forget Steve. I was so upset. We said, Steve, we want y'all to come to Atlanta and play Southern. This is the Pete Richardson years. And he said, no, we're not coming down there. We going to the playoffs because we wanted them to play Southern in the Heritage Bowl.
Yeah,
and I was so hurt about that, man.
Yeah, that was his first season.
And
but the first year when Jay came from Long Beach State, he was the answer to many prayers. They had a pro offense and a pro defense. They didn't have a pro style quarterback. And Jay was that pro style quarterback, man. Because he came from Long Beach. He had played for George Allen.
He died and he passed away during that time.
They threw water on him and he contracted pneumonia.
Yeah, 72 years old he passed. Yeah.
But anyway, no, he was in his 80s, wasn't he?
No, he was 72. He was in his 70s, still in his 70s for that time.
Oh, yeah, I thought he was in his 80s. But anyway, he came, brother. The first year, I think they went 7-4. And the next year, they went undefeated. They had that big game on BET against North Carolina A&T. The game was sold out at the beginning of the week. Both of them was undefeated. A&T was undefeated. Howard was undefeated. And they played on BET Live.
They sure did.
I remember that, man. That was, boy. I'm telling you, man, I called Steve because I was recruiting for him.
Bill Hayes was coaching A&T.
Said, Steve, y'all gonna come down here and play. We want y'all to play Southern in the Heritage Bowl. He said, no, we ain't coming down there. We going to the playoffs. And I was like, oh, man. And you know what they did? The number one ranked team in 1AA at that time was Marshall. They put them against Marshall. That was Randy Moss and them. It was Randy Moss and a boy named Chad Pennington.
Yeah.
Pennington. Yeah, played the Jets.
Yeah, that's him. That's who they stuck with him that first half, but then Randy Moss went crazy that second half, bro. He went crazy.
So the stats on Fred Poplone led Wiley College to the SWAC titles. Y'all listen to this: 19, 23, 27, 28, 29, 30, 32, 44, 45, 56, and 57. Now remember, between 32 and 44 because of World War II.
Yeah.
Wiley College won the Black College National Football Championship in 28, 32, and 1945.
Yeah.
In his 35 seasons, he led Wiley to 189 victories, coached 27 All-Americans. Now he won 224 games in 43 years with additional stops at Paul Quinn, Prairie View, and Texas College.
Yeah. Now, see, the big change in black college football came after World War II. Before World War II, the dominant power in black college football was Tuskegee and Morgan State. And then after World War II, that was the rise of Jake Gaither, Florida A&M, Arnett Mumford, Southern University, and that guy bit. His name was Nix. Billy Nix. Yeah, them guys dominated on this side of the black college football. But what happened in the mid-50s, man, the SWAC, those private schools had to make a decision. And that decision was to drop off because you was bringing in all them state schools, like Jackson got in, Southern was in, Alcorn came, and they had more resources. That's why Wiley and them by the 60s, Wiley and them got out of the SWAC. They couldn't compete because they was running up against them state-funded schools and they couldn't deal with them. And after World War II, black college football took a change, man. It took a change, bro.
Well, you really think about this, Coach Long. Yeah, he at Wiley dominated the SWAC, won 10 SWAC titles.
Yeah,
in the championship. He.
My father told me about Pop Long because he was still.
Yeah, I heard about Pop Long when I was at Grambling.
Yeah, my father was still in school during the time while he was in the conference.
Because see, Grambling didn't join the SWAC until the late 50s. Because Grambling was in a league with Lincoln out there in Missouri, and they called it something of the Midwest or something. They called it
Conference.
Huh?
You know, the
Midwest Conference.
Yeah, and then they got into the SWAC. I think 58 was it 58 or 59?
I know it came after they, them and Southern played each other for a long time. They got into a fight.
Because Southern was in the SWAC. Jackson State and Alcorn wasn't originally in the SWAC.
Yeah, they got into a brawl with Grambling. Southern got into a brawl in the 40s. I think Grambling finally beat them because Grambling had a tough time beating Mumford. Coach Rob did, and they got into a fight. They got into a fight, and they stopped playing each other about 11 years. I think they came back in the 50s.
All you got to do is go look at the history, man. At one time, couldn't nobody even compete with Southern, but Tennessee State, Florida A&M, and Prairie View. If you wasn't them three right there, you was going to get run over.
Jackson State came into the SWAC in 58.
When did Alcorn come?
Alcorn came in 62.
Okay, when did Grambling come?
Grambling came in 58. So Grambling we came in 58.
Yeah.
Southern came in 1935. Texas Southern came in 1954. Remember, Arkansas Pine Bluff was in there in 1930.
They left.
They left.
And came back.
Came back in 97.
I
saw him in.
Yeah, Valley came in 68. And
Alabama State came in 82.
Yeah, 82, and then A&M came in 1999.
I remember when all of them came.
A&M came in.
Because A&M and Alabama State, they used to be in the old SIC.
I watched the Alabama A&M and the SIC. George Key was president. Barry Wagner was
the boy, when A&M was really tough, they was on a guy named Ray Green. Ray Green was the truth, man.
And
he was something else.
And Prairie View is the last regional member since 1920.
Yeah, Prairie View, I think, is the first black school to have a bowl game, wasn't it? They had their own bowl game.
Yeah, they're the oldest white member.
In the 20s, wasn't it? For 20s or 30s or something, they had a bowl game in Dallas on New Year's Day. Yeah, Prairie View did. They was something else, man. That's what Tremaine said he gonna return them to, bro. When they was something else. That's his thing. We finna go back to that.
So you look at that. So Pine Bluff was there in 1936. They stayed for 34 years. Left in 1969, 1970. Back in 1997, my freshman year in college.
I remember they came back into the SWAC.
But the names that were in the SWAC, it was Bishop College, which is
Bishop. That's right. Wiley,
Houston, Tennessee.
Tennessee. They went.
What drove them out was basically the late 50s and the early 60s. That drove them private schools out, man. When them big time state schools came in there, they had to go, man. They had to let it go. They couldn't compete. Man. They had to let it go, bro. Because you were bringing in flagship HBCUs.
First one that left was Paul Quinn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Wiley left in the 60s, I think, didn't he?
Yeah, Wiley left in 68.
Yeah. When did Bishop leave?
Bishop left in 56.
Yeah, I remember. That's
Okay.
what I told you, bro. It was a new ball game after World War II, bro. Because see, the other thing that happened in World War II was the biggest money maker for his athletics before World War II was the Negro Leagues. Then as that Jackie Robinson signed it, the Negro Leagues was going out, and black college football came on. I mean, it was already big, but it became number one. Black college football became something, boy, in the, especially in the 50s, man. Ooh.
So let me be real clear. I forgot to say it's not Wiley College no more. It's Wiley
It's
University.
Wiley University. I had to get accustomed to that.
Wiley University, yeah.
I forgot the university. They got university since 2 years.
That's what I had to do with Bethune-Cookman. I had to get accustomed to calling it Bethune-Cookman University. I saw accustomed.
That's right. Yeah, I did
College.
too, because it was BCC when we went to school.
Yeah, I remember it back when I was coming. I remember BCC.
Oh, yeah, man. Bro, I saw they had a back. They used to compare to Walter Payton. His name was Randy Sweetback Walker. There you, boy, look here. Y'all, you go back there and see them old heads. But he was from Fort Myers, Florida. He went to the St. Louis Cardinals, and from St. Louis he went to the Canadian League. He was the truth, man.
He played on Cy McLaren.
Yeah. He played on the side. Then he played under that guy named Dr. Bobby. They had a guy had a PhD, was the coach.
Yeah.
Oh God, I can't think, man. I'm sorry about that, y'all.
No.
Got a little brain fog, but that guy was named Dr. Bobby. He had a PhD. He was a football coach with a PhD.
Okay.
Yeah, I just can't think of his name, man. This was in the early 70s. Like they really had that super team around 73, 74. But you can look that guy up, Doc. His name was Randy Sweetback Walker. He was the truth, bro. I saw him in person.
All right, man. So, woo, we got. Oh my goodness, we got what?
Hey, Doc, don't kick us off here. I know we don't want. I don't want to hijack your broadcast, man. I love you, Mr.
I got to get ready to go to work in a little bit.
Yeah, I know you have to go to work.
But now we gonna have some more fun. Like now, I really gonna talk about the house settlement. I got to talk about that.
Oh yeah, I saw that this past weekend with me.
Yeah, I saw it Friday too.
I got to talk about that because now you got to do some maneuvering. You got to learn how to work. You got to learn how to work your magic for real.
Taking it to a new level.
Well, yeah. I'm gonna go back to what I said. Yeah. That house settlement now, if you ain't got an outstanding AD, you're gonna be SHIT out of luck, bro. Because see, what the settlement is all about is making the rich get richer and the poor gonna get poorer. And what you're gonna have now is you got to, as an AD, you got to do what Howard University did with Steph Curry. They had abolished or gotten rid of their golf team.
Yeah.
Steph Curry steps in and basically finances the golf program and brings it back. That's what these schools and these HBCUs are going to have to do. You can either do it with investments from your alums, from fans, from businesses, rich individuals, whoever, but you're going to have private money to come into these programs. Because let me tell you what's going to happen. This is where it's going to be. It's going to go back to the old days when we had football. We're going to have football. We might not have girls basketball. We might just have men's basketball. You might have baseball, and then you might have girls and boys track and field, and everything else is iffy. Because you're going to have to, your AD is going to have to go to people like these billionaires, millionaires, organizations, and ask them to invest in these HBCU athletic programs. If they don't, you're going to see these programs be defunct. They ain't going to have them no more. Because see, I'm old enough to remember when I remember a time black colleges didn't even have women's basketball. No. I remember when black colleges started investing in women's basketball. I can remember them taking me to game. You saw one game. That was the men's game. And then you said, well, is that girls team? No, they have no girls team. Or if they had a girls team, they play 4 or 5 games.
When they started in the 70s, in the early mid-70s.
When they passed that, Richard Nixon them passed something called Title IX, Once
Title
they
IX,
passed 909, that was like the Emancipation Proclamation for women's sports. That was under Nixon, man.
Okay.
I remember that. Yeah, it was called Title IX. And basically what Title IX said, whatever money you spending on the men, you got to spend the same amount on women.
Okay. That's how Louisiana Tech came about with the Lady Texters when the FJ Taylor was president.
That dude was named Leon Barrymore and Miss Sonia Hope.
Leon Barrymore. Yeah. And see, Dr. FJ Taylor was president. He was very supportive of women's athletics.
Oh, yeah, I remember them. That was Kim Markey, them. Kim Markey, Janet Lawrence. I remember all of them. Yeah.
Des Rodman's sister, Deborah Rodman. Yeah, I
remember that. Yeah, I remember. They were the Lady Texas.
Yeah, Angela Turner.
Yeah.
So
because at one time, Louisiana Tech controlled women's basketball. The team that took it from them was Southern Cal, with Reggie Miller's sister,
Cheryl Miller and Cynthia Cooper.
Then Tennessee took it from Southern Cal, and then UConn came along and took it from Tennessee. That's why that lady hated Auriemma so badly. She hated Gino Auriemma. Because he took it from them. Because for years, they were the Lady Volunteers basketball team. They won that thing every year.
The year that they won their first championship, beating Tech in 1987. Then Tech won it.
They took it from Tech. Because the first championship game was in. It was Cheney State versus.
1982.
Who was it they played? It was. I think it was Louisiana Tech they played.
Louisiana Tech. Yeah, that's who won the national championship.
That was Kim Markey and them, I think.
Moki was on that team. She was guard, and Janice Lawrence, Pam Kelly.
Yeah, that's right. Janet Lawrence was a stop.
Yeah, Pam Kelly was on that team. Yeah,
Pam Kelly. What's her name? All she did, she was the female coach, but the brain or the mastermind was Leon Barrymore.
Sonia Hope.
Yeah, Sonia Hope. Because she left him and went out to Dallas or somewhere and started coaching at high school.
Yeah, she did. And Barmore, Barmore was assistant. He was associate head coach. Gary Blair was on that staff. He coached at Oak Cliff and, coached at Texas A&M.
Yeah. Is Barrymore still with Kim Markey?
Who?
Leon Barrymore. I think he's still with Kim Markey now.
Barmore lives in Ruston. I used to see him.
I thought he was down to LSU.
No, he's over in Ruston. I see him. He comes in Monroe sometimes. I see him in stores, in restaurants.
Okay. Yeah, he was a mastermind, man. Yeah, he was tough man.
Yeah, we gonna talk more about that on Wednesday.
Yeah,
some other stuff we got going on, of course.
But that was important about the change in athletics with this ruling.
All it means is that we got to have top-notch athletic administrators. If not, man, we're gonna go like it. Like you just said about that story you told about Dr. Jones had to go down there and get that money so they could go to see. People don't understand. Rob was very successful, but Rob had a support group, and the number one person was Ralph Jones. Okay, Miss Maggie Gibson, them and all that. Then that's what I'm telling you now. So you can have all this football and all these athletes, but you better have an administrative staff that's top notch. Cause baby, this money finna get real funny, bro. This money finna and we finna go past hyperinflation. We finna go past that.
Yeah, man, we just got a lot to unpack.
It's a lot to unpack. You're right, Doc.
It's a lot to unpack. But this kind of just threw everybody for a loop because it just threw everybody for a loop because this just came out. Like, this literally came out of left field for me because I would sleep. I went to sleep at 11 o'clock this morning. And I got off of work. Ate breakfast.
Yeah. I found out when I got off from work that about the story.
30 minutes. Went to sleep. Put the CPAP on, went to sleep. Wake up around about 4 something. I get the little message. Oh. Hold on now.
Yeah. I was the same way.
Well, and I'm gonna tell you something else that I've been saying this for the last 4 years, and people have tried to write me off, and I don't know what I'm talking about. With the current state of athletics, we're gonna have to have a super conference, man. We gonna y'all, whether y'all want to get over it or not, the SWAC and the MEAC are gonna have to combine. It ain't no doubt about it. I talked to Mr. Mona about it Saturday night. With that new ruling, bruh, if these people don't come together, if that's SWAC and MEAC, and there's some other teams that need to be added to it too, man, I'm telling you, we going to have schools going to stop playing athletics. I'm talking about HBCU. Because, see, they don't have an agenda. They don't have no strategy. They don't do no research. There's no development. And I'm telling you, if they would come together, because like I told you before, we at a point now with this super conference thing, we can't get around it. They're going to have to combine the SWAC and the MEAC. If they don't do it, they're going to wish they had done it because we're going to lose some people. Because this stuff about just throwing stuff on the wall and hoping it stick, that ain't working, man. You got to have plans, research, and development, bro. And if you ain't got that, you ain't going to make it. You ain't going to make it.
I think because of everything that's been going into play, like this is uncharted territory for a lot of folks. Not just with HBCU, but even on the G5 level, this is new territory. But we shall see what happens because somebody's going to challenge this. Somebody's going to make a challenge of this. I don't know.
It's not over yet.
Yeah, it's not over.
Well, the main thing now is, man, what they're basically saying is, if you don't have corporate sponsorship, I'm talking about major corporate sponsorship, then they don't want you in what they would call the Power 4 or Power 5. Not only that, they don't even want to play you. Because what Nick Saban is saying is that when they decide what's going to be the Power 4, or Power 3, or Power 2, he's saying that those schools need to play at least 10 games in the Power 2 or Power 3. Ain't going to be no Alabama playing Georgia State. Because they know Georgia State is basically, really and truly, a FCS school. They just got $30 million. But that's an FCS school. Kennesaw and all them FCS schools, you know. And what the networks are saying is that they don't want to spend no money unless you Power whatever. Because I'm going to tell you right now, that Power 4 or Power 5, they're going to dismiss the NCAA. They're going to dismiss them, bro.
Is that what Bud Selig's son is coming in? He's going to be over something. Selig, is that Bud Selig's son that's coming in and be over something?
What is he going to be over?
Something dealing with college athletics. Is Bud Selig's son?
Well, I hope he better than his daddy because his daddy was terrible. His daddy was the commissioner of Major League Baseball for a number of years. He was awful.
I remember Bud Selig.
He's friends with Hank Aaron. Bud and him owned the Milwaukee Brewers. He was a big-time car dealer up there in Milwaukee. He was terrible as commissioner of baseball. He was awful. Baseball went nowhere.
Somebody's going to be away from separating themselves from the NCAA. If I don't want to stand corrected, I don't want to be misquoting.
What is he over now? What is Selig over?
I think it's something dealing with this change in athletic landscape, and said something going to be over. I forgot. I had to go look at it. It's something that
we can talk about that on Wednesday right there.
Yeah.
We gonna get on out of here. So I'll be back Wednesday evening, Mr. Ford, at 6 o'clock.
Okay.
So I'll let you know.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I'll let you know, Chuck.
All right. By the way, Doc, now they trying to get I hope he don't do that mess. You know, they're trying to get my man. You know, I was a big time fan of him. Jason Kidd to leave Dallas and go to New York. I hope he don't do that mess.
That ain't happening.
Man, I hope he don't do that mess.
I'll put it like this.
That's a hellhole in New York.
Man, anytime James Dolan over there, who want to work for James Dolan?
That's JRU. That's a real life JRU and James Dolan.
Man, he's awful.
But here's the thing, though. If I'm a kid, like just say this.
They talk about Jerry Jones, but James Dolan. Yeah.
James Dolan is sick.
Yeah, we're gonna roll up out of here after this. But if I'm somebody like Jason Kidd, and I'm I'm in Texas. He's been in Texas for the last 5-6 years. Why am I trying to go to New York where if I get a contract, it's a good contract, half of that's going to be taken out by the state where I can still be in Texas and I can still live comfortably because they're not taking no type of state tax out of it.
Yeah, y'all don't have taxes in Texas, if I stand corrected. Yeah.
That's correct. No,
but my thing is, who want to work for James Dolan? What's the other guy named the general manager?
What's
the general manager up there with it? Yeah, listen, man. I don't care what y'all call it. They straight backstab Tom Thibodeau. That was man. Listen, the Knicks have been relevant in 25 years. This man take you to the conference championship and you get rid of him. That's backstabbing, bro. Man, I so hope Jason Kidd don't fall for that. I hope he don't lead Dallas to my going to no Knicks.
No, Jay Wright. They said they thought they had Jay Wright's name. Jay Wright said, they say
Jay
not
Wright
even running
don't.
for that.
Jay Wright wasn't gonna do that. He ain't stupid.
No.
He is not stupid.
He had to keep sharp with the suits on.
Man, we talked about it this weekend, man. I think the Knicks overachieved and the fact that they don't have a big guard. They do not have a big guard. Hartnum ain't no big. Hart is like an in-between forward. He's not a guard. And they went that far without a big guard.
I think they got to blow it. I think they'll blow it up. We'll talk more about that on Wednesday too. But I got a lot to say.
Yeah, I know you had to get to.
Yeah, but we're gonna get up on out of here. So I will see y'all Wednesday evening, 6:00.
All right.
All right, Mr. Ford.
Okay, appreciate you, man. Look forward to seeing you.
You take care.
Take care, bro Hunt, you be good too, man.
All right.
Okay.
You'll take care of viewing audience out there. All right.
So we have that's a good show. That's a good show. But if I'm FAMU, like I said, I woke up earlier. I woke up earlier, and I was like, I know I ain't seeing this on the thing, and all I could just say was, I was like, what the hell? I'm trying to figure out what's going on. I'm trying to see what the business is. So I'm trying to see what the business is. But man, look, we gonna get all of it to that. See what any type of new story come out of that. Again, I'll just say, but I'm like Mr. Ford, like FAMU, it's time for you to move on from that. Because I just see a lot of this right here.
Yeah! They squabbling out there now. Yeah!
They just squabbling. They squabbling out there. So they squabbling. But anyway, man, we gonna get up on out of here. I hope everybody's had a good evening. The missus is right behind me. Anything you want to tell the folks at home?
Baby.
I just say
these folks don't be checking for me.
They'll be checking for you.
No, they don't. The only person I spoke to was Uncle Cedric. How you guys?
So, all right, we got some t-shirts and everything. We got.
We're trying to get our online store up and running. Hopefully, everything will be done by trying to push for the end of this month. We got a lot of other stuff to do, but we will keep you guys posted. Ooh, ooh. Yes.
So, other than that, we're gonna be up out of here. I gotta get ready for work. I gotta eat some food. Gotta make my lunch. Guess I'll take a Uber to work or to the bus stop. But other than that, man, y'all be blessed. Y'all stay safe. Hug your loved ones. Love on your loved ones. Just seen it. Rest in peace to Sly Stone. Funk legend. And man, just pray for everybody. Pray for me. Pray for her. Pray for all of us.
Fine.
Yeah, she go. But as always, man, guess what? Y'all be easy. Peace.